In this lecture video, we are going to solve questions related with rolling motion. So, what is rolling motion? It is a combination of translational and rotational motion. So, let us take up the first question. The question is, there is a uniform cylinder having some radius and it is initially rotating with some initial angular velocity omega naught is given to us. Is placed on a rough inclined plane with theta is equal to 37 degrees and mu is equal to 0.5. So coefficient of friction is given. It is given as 0.5. Find the time taken by the cylinder to start pure rolling. So if you will see this question, they have asked us to find out the time which will be taken by the cylinder to start pure rolling motion. So in case of pure rolling motion, what should be the velocity of center of mass? It should be equal to r into omega. So when this condition will be satisfied, the cylinder will start pure rolling motion. So therefore, while solving this question, you have to determine the instant of time when velocity of center of mass will become equal to r into omega. So initially it starts from rest. Velocity of center, initial velocity of center of mass is 0 and it is moving down on some inclined plane. So let us say, what is the tendency of this point of contact? The tendency is to move in backward direction. So in which direction this incline is going to apply friction force on this cylinder? It will apply friction force in the forward direction. So if I draw the free body diagram of all the forces which are acting on this cylinder, you can see there is one mg. You will have this angle as 37 degrees. So here the component of mg cos 37 degrees. There will be one mg sin 37 degrees. Then there will be one normal reaction. And in addition to all this, there will be one frictional force. And frictional force will be equal to mu times of n, because this is performing actual motion, correct? This is performing actual motion. Still pure rolling has not started, so the instantaneous point of contact is not at rest. So we can take it as mu into normal reaction, maximum possible value, mu mg cos of 37 degrees. And as a result of these two forces, obviously the center of mass will try to move downward with some acceleration. So let us say that acceleration of center of mass is ACM. And simultaneously this is rotating also, so there will be some angular acceleration. So now let us try to determine that. So I, we can write it as moment of inertia into alpha. What is that? That will be equal to torque. Who will produce torque here? So if you see, mg is passing through the center of mass, normal reaction is passing through the center of mass. So these two forces won't be creating any torque about center of mass, because the perpendicular distance of the line of action of force from the axis of rotation will become 0. Now let us talk about the frictional force. Frictional force, it will create a torque, how much? F into the radius is given as r. So we can write this as frictional force into r. Now this is a cylinder. So moment of inertia is half mr squared. So we can write half into mass, let us say it is m, r square into alpha, and that will be equal to frictional force. Frictional force is mu mg cos 37. Mu mg cos 37 degrees into r. So r and r will get cancelled, and you can find out the value of alpha from here. M and m will also get cancelled. Now let us substitute the values and get the value of alpha. So half into radius, r is given as 0.4 into alpha, and that is equal to mu, which is given as 0.5 into g 10 cos of 37 degrees. So if you don't remember, I'll just draw this triangle which will help you. If this angle is 37 degrees, this is 3, this is 4 and this is 5. So now you can easily write corresponding cosine and sine of 37 degrees. So cos of 37 degrees will be equal to 4 by 5. So we'll write it as 4 by 5 here. Now let us see. 5, this is 0.1 into 10, 1. So this will be 4. And here 4 again 0.1. So what do we get? Alpha is equal to 2 by 0.1, which is 20. So 20 radian per second square. This is your alpha. So what will be the value? Let us say that this condition is achieved after time t. This condition is achieved after time t. So in time t, the velocity omega has become or has reduced from omega naught. So omega naught minus alpha into t. Correct? So we'll find out what is this value. We'll just keep it like that. Omega naught, is it given? Yeah, it's given as 54. So keep it as 54 minus 20 into t. So this is one of the equation. Now our target is to determine velocity of center of mass after time t. So for that we'll see what is the net force which is acting parallel to the incline. What is the net force here? Mg sin 37 plus mu mg cos 37. So what will be the acceleration of center of mass? This net force divided by mass. So it will become g sin 37 plus mu g cos of 37. So sin 37 is 3 by 5. So we can write it as 10 into 3 by 5 plus 0.5 into 10 into 4 by 5. 5 2 ja, so 3 2 ja 6 plus 5 2 ja 4. So this total comes as 10. So acceleration of center of mass, we get it as 10 meter per second square. So what will be velocity of center of mass after a given time? It will be initial u center of mass plus a into t, acceleration of center of mass into t. So this is 0. A center of mass is 10. So this will become equal to 10t. So this is our second equation. So now we can make use of our first equation and second equation, and then V center of mass should be equal to r omega when the body starts pure rolling. So now we can write this as, I'll write it here, 10t. This should be equal to r is 0.4 into omega. So 0.4 into this value. How much is this? 54 minus 20t. So now we have to solve it from here and get the value of t. So let us try to do that. So for that I need to erase a part of the board. So I hope everything is clear till here. I'll erase it. So let us see what do we get from here. So we get 20 as equal to 0.4 into 54. So it is 21.6, right? Minus 8t. So it is 18t and that is equal to 21.6. So t is equal to 21.6 by 18. So 3 6 the 0.2. So how much is that? This will come as 1.2 seconds. So the answer for this question is 1.2 seconds. And if you will see overall what has happened in this problem is that initially this body was rotating with some angular velocity omega naught. And this friction, what it has done? It is trying to reduce this value, the torque which is generated by this friction force, it is trying to reduce the value of omega naught to some value omega. And initially velocity of center of mass was 0. So this friction force is acting in the direction of motion and it is trying to increase the velocity of center of mass to a value VCM, such that VCM becomes equal to R omega. Because ultimate role of this friction force, ultimate job of this friction force is to bring the point of contact to rest. The role of friction force is it should stop relative motion. So this instantaneous point of contact must come to rest. And that is possible only when VCM is equal to R omega. And that is what exactly friction is trying to do here. And this is the approach you should take whenever you get this model of question that find the time after which the body starts performing pure rolling motion. So friction in that case generally will try to reduce the angular velocity to a particular value of omega, and it will try to increase the velocity of center of mass, such that at a given instant of time VCM will become equal to R omega and the body will start performing pure rolling motion. Okay, so let's take up this question related with rolling. You can see there are 4 cylinders. They are similar to each other. Each is having radius of R. And they have been arranged such that there are 2 planks. The upper plank is moving towards right hand side with a velocity 2v. The middle plank is moving towards left hand side and the lower cylinder is kept on some horizontal surface. And it is given in the question that there is no slipping at any point. This line is very important. No slipping at any point means it's rolling without slipping which is taking place. Therefore, whatever point of contacts you are seeing, it will be instantaneously at rest. When is that possible? That is possible when the relative velocity of this point with respect to the plank or the surface which it is touching is 0. So that is the concept we are going to use to solve this problem. But before that, let us say this is having some velocity. The upper cylinders, they are having velocity of v1 and they are rotating with omega 1. Lower cylinder, obviously they will have velocity towards left hand side. Let us say it is v2 and they are rotating with, let us say, omega 2. And we will name the different points. So let us name them. Let us say this point of contact is A, this point of contact is B, this point of contact is C, and this point of contact is D. So we will analyze all the different point of contacts independently. So let us do that. So first for point A, so I'll draw it. This is, let us say, the cylinder. So this is point A. What are the different velocities? Towards right hand side it is v1. Then again, because of rotation, additional velocity will be r omega 1 or omega 1 into r. Same direction because it is rotating like this if you see above the top point. Then above this you have kept, this is actually your point A, correct? Now this point A is also there on this plank. Point A is common. So now think about that plank. So this is your plank, correct? So this plank is having velocity of 2v towards right hand side, and I told you what is this point is your point A. So point A is common both to the plank and the top surface of the upper cylinder. What is the concept? No relative motion. If you see no relative motion, why no relative motion? Because both the points are same only, right? So we can write v1 plus r omega 1 and that should be equal to 2v. So this will form our equation number 1. Now let us think about point B. So for point B again, this is your point B. This side velocity is v1. It is rotating due to rotation. Here you will have r omega 1, and this is in contact with the middle plank. What about the middle plank here? So this is your middle plank, correct? This middle plank, middle plank is moving towards left hand side with some velocity v. So again you are having the common point B here. Both the points should have the same velocity, no relative motion. So here we can write v is equal to, or r omega 1 minus v1 is equal to v. So that will become our second equation. So now what we do is we add up equation number 1 and 2. So when you add up, plus v1 and minus v1 will get cancelled, and what will you get? 2r omega 1. So you can write 2r omega 1 as equal to 3 times of v. So what is omega 1? It will become 3v by 2r. So let us say this is your third equation. Similarly, now think about point C. So for point C, this is your point C. V2 and r omega 2. If a point C, you are having middle plank which is moving towards left hand side with velocity v. So point C is present here also, and this is moving towards left side with velocity v. So again same point, so velocity should be same and there should not be any relative motion, right? So r omega 2 plus v2 should be equal to v. So we can write v2 plus r omega 2, this should be equal to v. So this becomes our fourth equation. Now we have to think about point D. We have to think about point D. So first I will write it, what we have got our omega 1 as. Omega 1 we have got it as 3v by 2r. So I will erase till point B and then we'll talk about point C and point D. So I will erase it. So you can see the point C is there. Here we have already discussed about it. What will happen at point D? D is the lowermost point. So what happens here is, you can see in this direction V2, and here r omega 2, and this point D is instantaneously at rest. It is touching the horizontal surface of the ground. So we can write V2 is equal to r omega 2. So this becomes equation number 5. So now let us make use of equation number 4 and 5 and try to get the value of omega 2. So instead of V2 we can write it as r omega 2. So 2r omega 2 is equal to V. So you can write 2r omega 2 is equal to V. So what is omega 2? It is V by 2r. V by 2r. And omega 1 we have got it as 3V by 2r. So they have asked us to find the ratio of angular speed of upper cylinder to lower cylinder. So that ratio will be equal to omega 1 by omega 2. So we can write omega 1 by omega 2 as equal to 3v by 2r divided by v by 2r. So 2r by v. So this is equal to 3. So the answer for this question is 3. Let's take up this question. This was asked in IIT JEE 2011. So you can see there is a ring which has been kept on some ground, and there is a stick which is being used to apply some force on the ring. That force is 2 Newton, and the ring can perform rolling without slipping. The coefficient of friction between the stick and the ring is given as P by 10. And it has been given that this ring is moving with an acceleration of 0.3 meter per second square. So they have asked us to find the value of P. So in all such kind of problems, the first thing we should do is we should always try to draw the free body diagram to understand what are the forces acting and what are the possible torque which can act on the body. So let us draw the free body diagram of this. So this is your ring. So its weight will act vertically downwards, mg. Then there will be one normal reaction from the ground. There is one force which is being applied by a stick on this. What is that force? That force will act in this direction, F. Now, what is the tendency of this body? The tendency of this body is to rotate like this, and also to shift or move towards, translate towards left hand side. So at the ground, what is the direction of frictional force? Frictional force from the ground will act in this direction, and here the tendency of this point of contact is to move relative to this stick in upward direction. So that means the friction force will act in downward direction. So here the frictional force will act here, and let us say that frictional force is F. So you can see these are all the forces which are acting on the ring. And acceleration of center of mass has been given as 0.3 meter per second square, and F value has been given as 2 Newton. So now let us try to solve this. What about horizontal direction? What is the net force? It is having acceleration in this direction, acceleration of center of mass. So can we write the first equation, the force equation, as F minus Fg, that is the net force in horizontal direction, and this is resulting in the net force, mass into acceleration of center of mass. So F is given as 2 Newton. Frictional force from the ground. What is the kind of friction it is acting here? This friction is actually your static friction. We don't know, but it is so much that here this body can perform rolling without slipping. So this point of contact is instantaneously at rest. That is why I am telling that it is static friction, and therefore we are not substituting the maximum value of friction here. So this can be written as mass into acceleration of center of mass. Mass is 2. What is the acceleration of center of mass? 0.3. So this is 0.6. So what is frictional force from the ground? 2 minus 0.6, that is equal to 1.4 Newton. So this is 1.4 Newton, that is frictional force from the ground. Now the force which the stick is applying on the ring, that acts as the normal force, normal contact force between this ring and the stick. So that force will be responsible for the frictional force which is acting here. And here what type of friction is acting? Kinetic. So maximum value we can take. What will be the maximum value of frictional force? It will be mu into N. So we can write that small n can be written as mu into normal reaction. And what is normal reaction? It is F, the contact force between the stick and the ring. So mu is given as P by 10 and F is given as 2. So we'll keep it like this. This is frictional force. Now we have talked about the force. Let us talk about the torque. What do you think about the torque here? What is the torque that is acting? Can we find it out? Can we find the torque which is acting here? So torque about the center of mass. How will we find that torque about the center of mass here? First see which all forces are passing through the center of mass. So you can see here mg is passing through center of mass, this F is passing through center of mass, normal reaction from the ground is passing through center of mass. So these all forces, they are not going to produce any torque about center of mass, because the perpendicular distance of line of action of the force and the axis of rotation is going to become 0. That means here there are only two forces which can produce torque. These two frictional forces, because they are not passing through center of mass. So what, and you see this frictional force due to ground will try to rotate it anti-clockwise. This frictional force from the which is developed between the ring and the stick, it will try to rotate it in clockwise direction. So the sense of torque which is being created by frictional force due to ground and the frictional force between ring and the stick, they are opposite. So we can write what is the net torque. We can write it as F minus Fg Fg minus g. This will be the Fg minus F. This will be the net torque. Why? Because finally we are assuming that it is rotating like this. So this into R. This should be equal to I alpha. What is I? Mr square. So we can write it as Mr square. And what is alpha? So remember, for pure rolling, ACM can be written as R into alpha. So alpha is ACM by R. So we can write ACM by R. So 1R will get cancelled here. Correct? And another R will go from here. So what do we get? Fg minus F, and that is equal to M into ACM. Correct? So now substitute the value. I am writing it here because I don't have a space. So Fg is 1.4 minus F. F is P by 10 into 2. So 2P by 10. And that should be equal to M into ACM. M is 2 and acceleration of center of mass is 0.3. So it is 2 into 0.3, which is equal to 0.6. So what is 2P by 10? What will be 2P by 10? So we can write 2P by 10 as equal to 1.4 minus 0.6, which will be 0.8. So 2, it will go 0.4, 10 will get multiplied here, so 10 into 0.4 is 4. So the answer for this question is the value of P is 4. Okay, so let's see this question. There is some inclined plane making an angle of theta with the horizontal. This is a large plank A having mass m. And there is some friction between this plank and this incline, and there is a disc which is having same mass as that of plank. This disc can perform pure rolling motion over this plank. So they are asking the minimum value of coefficient of friction between the plank and the incline, so that this plank remains stationary, it does not move. So in order to solve this question, first thing is we should draw the free body diagram. So if you talk about B, what are the forces which are acting on B? One is your mg, vertically downward. Then there is some normal reaction which exists between A and B. Correct? So this mg will have two components. We can break it down. This will be angle theta. So this is mg cos theta, and this component will become mg sin theta. The tendency of this disc is to slide down, so frictional force which will be exerted by A on B will be towards right hand side. And what is the nature of that friction? Static friction. So we won't put the exact value, we'll just say that it is some static friction F1. Don't rush to put it as mu into N into AB. Why? Because here pure rolling, so this is static friction. Value is not fixed. Not fixed means it is self-adjusting and it can have any value, static friction, from 0 to F max. Now think about this plank. This plank also, mg, same story, theta, mg cos theta, then mg sin theta. So now there is one normal reaction here. This is from incline, and there is one normal reaction AB. Since this plank had applied some force on B and AB, so same force by Newton's third law. In addition to that, frictional force it has applied on B is F1, so that frictional force will act in this direction by Newton's third law, and this A will experience another frictional force here. What will be that frictional force? What will be the direction? The tendency is to, this surface is to slide down relatively. So frictional force, another frictional force will act from the incline, and that will be, let us say, F2. Now, what is the value of F1? What will be the value of F1? Can you tell? F1 is the frictional force that is required for this ball to, this disc to perform pure rolling motion. So we have already learned F1 is equal to mg sin theta by 1 plus mr square by I. What is I? Moment of inertia. So this is disc moment of inertia is half mr square. So we'll put the values. Mg sin theta by 1 plus mr square by half mr square. So this will get cancelled. So 3. So it will be mg sin theta by 3. And for equilibrium, for this block to remain stationary, can we say F1 plus mg sin theta, which is the force, net force acting down the incline, that should be the net force of the incline, which is F2, and F2 can be written as mu into some normal reaction. So what is the normal reaction here? Mg cos theta plus NAB. NAB itself is mg cos theta, so it will become 2 times of mg cos theta. And F1 value is mg sin theta by 3. So we can write this as mg sin theta by 3 plus mg sin theta, and that is equal to mu into 2 mg cos theta. So now here mg and mg gets cancelled. What do you get here? 4 sin theta by 3. 4 sin theta by 3. So I need some space, I'll write it here. We are having some space, so we utilize it. This is 4 sin theta by 3, and that is equal to twice mu cos theta. So what is the value of mu then? 2 will get cancelled. 2 sin theta by 3 cos theta. Sin theta by cos theta is tan theta. So it is mu is 2 by 3 tan theta. So the answer for this question is 2 by 3 of tan theta.